Welcome back, everybody, to episode 2 of the Saxcast presented by Bucko Banter. I'm Adam. We have Scott to my left, and in the middle is the man of the hour, as always, Sax Boy Billy. What's going on, Sax?
Malcolm Middle, baby. Hey, diddle, Malcolm, let me from G.
It's good.
I'm
it's
having
good to
fun
have
in the middle of the screen. I'm having
Well,
fun in the middle of the screen.
Well,
Frankie,
you know, have you,
who's the Dewey? Who's the Reese?
you've watched Curb, right, Sax?
You
Someone has to play the middle. Larry David. That's like a famous episode. You got to play the middle. You're the middle, obviously, between the three of us.
The middle, ABC family sitcom. Malky, so for the people at home, there is a weird age difference between us. It's like what, 7-8 years. It's kind of like just a strange, but it's weird enough that it's kind of like a different thing. Did you guys watch Malcolm in the Middle?
I didn't watch it like all the way through. I've seen episodes, but I know of it.
You guys weren't watching that Fox Friday Animation Domination plus Malcolm Middle plus Arrested Development.
I watched Arrested Development.
That's kind of like, that's perfectly where the age, that just totally shows like where our age gap is. These guys aren't Munez boys. They're more of Big Fat Liar boys, and they know him from his racing career currently.
Yeah, for sure.
Did you know he's a professional racer?
I've seen him. I didn't know if he played one or if he actually was one, because I've definitely seen him in a racing suit, but I never
He's always in some sort of flame retardant jumper, and he's like racing some like AAA track in like North Carolina. And
who is this? Wait, we're talking
Frankie
about
Muniz.
Frankie Muniz,
okay.
Fella. Ever heard of him?
I didn't know he was racing, to be honest.
Cut him off.
No.
Cut him off the screen. Cut him out.
It's like on the point where DiNardo like cuts the screen out and
yeah.
That's interesting.
You know what? I'm gonna use this for the first time ever. My red light. You don't know who Frankie Muniz is? You don't know. For people listening, I have an LED red light. Whenever I get mad on the show, I'm gonna turn it on. You can see on YouTube.
There you go.
I'm gonna be enraged with the red light.
We'll get a whole production going on in your room. We'll have LED, strobes, everything, a smoke machine. That's interesting. I agree. You do make a good middle. If you guys don't know what a middle is, it's a person who just keeps the conversation going, always has something to say, is never going to have an awkward moment. So that's where the setup is right now. We got Scott and I on the ends.
Okay.
We're going to be able to contribute, but Sax is providing the content here, and he's allowing us to grow in the conversation. That's where we're at. And I would agree, Scott. He's a good middle, right?
That's where we're at.
That's where we're at. Yep. We're 2 episodes in, and like we already established.
Weirdly well said.
Oh, thank you. But no, man, I'm excited to be back for episode 2. There's been a lot happening in Pittsburgh, mainly with the Pirates, and then with you, Sax, on your recent adventure to Myrtle Beach. Scott and I were at PiratesFest this weekend. Unfortunately, you were not able to join us. You did have an appearance at PiratesFest.
Can you believe that?
Crazy. I didn't see it firsthand. I saw it on, is it Debbie from the Berg? Shout out.
Debbie from the Berg, who's the in-game stadium host. Shout out Debbie. Follow Debbie. And they had my segment. They posted it on the big Jumbotron at the PiratesFest.
Yeah, that was crazy.
I don't know how they used it. The video could have been like, hey, don't be this guy. He's our worst fan. And it could have been like a bloopers reel, like making fun of me. But
it was good though,
I don't
man.
care.
Like,
that's pretty cool.
People were asking where you were at. And I like how we've become associated just all together as a group now. Cause like when we're walking around, it's like, hey, what's Sax up to? How's the Saxcast going? Like we got that question multiple times. So that was great. But it was also just like a good way for us as Bucko Banter to get back out there and meet everybody and see the players and kind of get back in the groove of things. Because I was mentioning earlier, we're tired, dude. Like it was a lot of walking around, a lot of people just like being in that social atmosphere again, and just like the deep darkness of winter when you're just inside most of the day. And then you got to go and socialize and talk to a million people. It was a tall task, but I think it went pretty well, Scott.
I think it did too. It was entertaining. Sax, I'll give you a quick little rundown. First, we had the Q&A.
Yeah, I just want to say it's like when you like people go to like those like anime cons and they dress up and they pack all their like luggage up and they got like the foam sword and like they're just standing around.
It's kind of what it was like.
Yeah, it's our version. It's Pirates Fest. I mean, when I jumped on this call, these are beaten men. This Tuesday, they had time to recover and they have not. So let's hear about it.
Yeah, so we started with the Q&A session. We, Adam and I were standing over there with, our guys, Noah, Destin, and Stumpf. And, there was an opportunity for fans to ask questions to Ben, Travis Williams, and Derek Shelton. And, we got some really good questions. And we had a mini insurrection. They were screaming, sell the team, and then they were politely asked to leave, and they did. So it was a very polite insurrection, in my opinion. And then someone shouted,
was it like a handful? Was it
no Viking helmets or anything like that?
Up? Was it what?
It was no Viking helmets or anything like that. They were just like sell the team, like 3 or 4 times, and then I think they just got kicked out.
Greg Brown was just like, "Hey, can you guys stop it?" And they're like, "Yeah, all right, we'll stop it." It was like, dude, they talked this thing up for a long time. And like, I admire like whatever, as Scott would say, tickles your fancy, like whatever you go out there and you want to do and put your heart,
any sort of emotion or anything towards the Pirate is good.
Great. Yeah. And I understand like all those people love the team and that's why they're doing it. But for the amount of talk and preparation that went into it, it was very short-lived. There was questions. What was that, Scott?
Anticlimactic.
It was very anticlimactic. And for the questions that were asked during the Q&A, you had a lot of like, okay, that's a pretty good question, supplemented with, where's Bob at? Bring Bob out here. Like,
where are you, buddy?
Okay.
Where are you, buddy? So this is a real sequence of questions that I'll run you through that happened at Pirates Fest. Okay. They hand the mic to one guy and he goes, "Where you at, buddy? Where you at, Bob? Are you going to sell the team? Fuck you. I hate you." And then, all right, well, let's go to the next person.
He goes,
"Hey, what?" No. Okay. It was like, like, I hate you.
It was very intense.
It was very intense. I hate you. You suck. Sell the team.
Yeah.
Where are you at? Face your fears. Okay, let's go to the next guy over here. Yeah, when are we getting a real pirate ship out in left field? That was it. And then like it was like, all right, well, like let's talk about putting a pirate ship in the outfield for the next like 10 minutes. And it was like that was like, I think summed it up perfectly because it was a lot of anger. And then it was like, let's dangle the keys a little bit. Here's a pirate ship. And then everybody's like, pirate ship's not bad. Like I could deal with a pirate, which I'm on.
Oh my god, the future ex Pittsburgh wives that will be met at the center field pirate ship. Like, hey babe, what's up?
Incredible.
Yeah, it's like the Pirates deserve this fervor, and if anything, it's not enough. You know what I mean? Like for the amount of just horrible product they've been giving us. You know what I mean? So,
yeah,
so
like,
I'm good. I'm glad people did it respectfully. They showed their opinions, and it sounds like they made their voices heard. And then they got out of there. I don't know what would have happened if like, where you at, Bob? Come out here and like fight me. Like, what's that gonna do? Like,
it sounded like
well, Bob here now. Just Bob like just runs in like WWE from the back. And just like.
It sounded like
I
they
don't really
wanted
know
him.
What that's gonna do, but
yeah, no, it sounded like they wanted him to like speak to some of these questions because they're like, why is Travis Williams, Ben, and Shelton not here and you're not? Fair question, I guess, but at the same time, like Bob wasn't out there last year. I don't know of many owners that do these Q&A sessions with fans. So I think,
and I mean, what we know he's
there,
not gonna say. He's not gonna say anything. He's just going to talk like lawyer. You know what I mean? He's just going to, it's not going to say anything interesting. They feel it. It's their business. Like everybody benefits from winning baseball. You can win on this hyper budget. They just haven't put it together yet. I don't know, man.
Listen, like it's so, you can get mad all you want, and it's a bummer. And like, obviously the product's not what it is. And And Scott and I have mentioned on Bucko Banter countless times, like whatever you want to do in order to show your support for the Pirates, whether that's go to every game and love this team, or if you feel like it's necessary to protest, do what you want, just be respectful about it, because at the end of the day, Pirates Fest it's for kids. Like, let's be real. You know what I mean? Like, there's a ton of kids running around. It was an overwhelmingly positive event for the most part. I mean, just from our experience walking around, the players made it what it is, man. Like, they were so personable. They were taking photos, signing autographs, doing like all the little activities. So it got me excited for Pirate season. And like, I'm excited to be back at the ballpark with you boys, walking around, doing content, just watching baseball. So like, I didn't like, the reason I bring this up is because in the media, like Barstool posted about it, and like other news stations picked up like Pirates Fest, like disaster, like selling expired sodas.
There's no way it was a disaster.
No, it was a good time. They put on a very good event. I know there was blips in the timeline, but for the most part, like, it's very easy to cherry pick different things and be like, oh my God, this whole weekend sucked. But it was very good. So, I'll tell you what, it was probably better than RV Fest. Sax, we walked by there, not a soul in sight, buddy.
Yeah.
Well, because it was day 12 of RV Fest. It was like, it was so long. And so, yeah, I could see everybody was like me. I shot my wad at RV Fest day one. I was there. I spent 4.5 hours at RV Fest. And
too many hours.
Did you guys see, by the way, one of my biggest takeaways, the aluminum cans of Aquafina that they had at the convention center?
They sell those at my work too, is for the environment, I guess.
What?
I don't know.
Who is aluminum cans of Aquafina?
They're awful.
Like it's like Bud Light from like 2007?
And you taste if you let it sit out too long, you can taste like the aluminum.
Gross.
It's gross.
Aquafina already is that notorious. It's like if you blindfolded me and you gave me 5 bottled waters, I could sniff out Aquafina.
There we go.
Scott's drinking it right now.
Scott's an Aquafina, man? Damn, did I?
I got my smart water
Is that
right here,
is that your bottled water of choice?
No, it's not. I actually like the Essentia the most. Have you seen those? They're like the black and red, tall bottles. Yeah, they're really good.
Are you guys not tap water drinkers?
I'll drink tap water all day.
Okay.
For what it's worth, I've refilled this smart
Dorm
water
rooms
bottle
for adults,
like 7
bottled
times.
water in the fridge. Do you guys have fridge full of bottled waters?
I do.
When I was in college? No. Oh, here? No, I do not. No, I'm drinking from the sink, man, for sure. But yeah, one note on RV Fest, or actually a couple notes. I got some qualms.
Did you guys go at all? Were you curious?
They were offering free tickets to people attending Pirates Fest. Like they had a stand set up as you walked in, like, please come look at these RVs because nobody's down there. When you were talking about it last week, you were like, it's these just like wood paneled pieces of shit vehicles. And in my mind, when I think RVs, I think like what like celebrities and artists tour around on that have like these luxurious beds and bedrooms and kitchens and like fold outs. And that's not what was there. And there was a lot of RVs there. It was almost all shit from like an eagle's eye view. Looking down, it just all looked bad, and there was nobody walking. Yeah, there's no one walking around. It didn't encourage me to buy an RV, let alone like rent one or go do anything. So, like, is it just for people?
I wish they had wood paneling there. I wish they had wood paneling instead of it's like the cheapest fiberglass, like wall. Like again, it's like a shed. It's like when you go to Home Depot and you look at the shed and you're like, that's just like fiberglass. Didn't sheds like our grandfathers make it with wood? And there's like cobwebs in the corner, and and then you look at the new sheds, and it's like, oh, the cheapest like flimsy piece of whatever material. That's what the RVs are. They're just sheds. They're cheap sheds. And
here's another thing.
I wanted to like it so bad.
Yeah, so did I. And I knew I wasn't going in, but I wanted to be like, oh, RV Fest is here. Scott, I want to see if you know what my biggest qualm of RV Fest was, and it necessarily wasn't with the RVs. It was as we were walking into Pirates Fest at 8:30 in the morning.
Oh, yeah. They had, is it the bucket of pickles? Yeah, they were like giving out pickles. And I'm like, I smell pickles at 8. I don't like pickles anyways, but at 8:30 in the morning, I absolutely don't like pickles. And they just had big buckets of them. Hey, take some pickles with you. Yeah, that's a great breakfast.
It was like 8 buckets of pickles.
Yeah,
and you could see the pickles overflowing from the buckets as you walked to the next escalator to get through Pirates Fest. And it was just like, all right, I didn't like RVs before. I wasn't crazy about them, but if you're coupling them with pickles at 8 in the morning, I'm out. Not a good look.
That's how they hook the over 70 people, which is probably the people with the money to buy the RVs. Like,
the people with the money want
there's,
pickles.
Circus Peanuts, Necco wafers.
It was ridiculous, man. But
were those originals?
Right.
The
heart candies. It was
the strawberry ones and the strawberry wrappers. I don't even know what those are called, but every
cream savers. No, that's more art.
Cream savers are good too, but the ones that are like literally it's a watermelon. It's a watermelon wrapper.
Oh,
you guys know what I'm talking about.
I know what you're talking
that
about.
watermelon candy that just has kind of like the goo in the middle.
Oh yeah,
the best.
Yeah.
Wouldn't you rather that candy just be the hard thing and the goo is just unnecessary? Is that just me?
I think the goo makes it, man.
You're a big goo guy?
Shut it down.
I'm a goo.
Shut the podcast down. Shut both of you guys. It's just me ranting. The goo's bad. The goo is bad.
We're gonna have that red light on, Sax, when we do your grifting section during the season. So you can talk about your grift. You're gonna because everyone thinks you're so evil for grifting, and you're just gonna be like, this week going to Chicago.
Well, listen,
how I grifted people out of $20.
Pirates Fest was overwhelmingly positive. We missed you there, but you were pretty busy.
I know. I bummed out.
And
it swings into what I did next because
exactly
it was a really great flight.
Let's talk about it. Let's talk about Myrtle Beach and your travels there. First things first, Sax. How'd you get there?
So I had some credits from when I had my last bottom. Remember when I was in the hotel room in Chicago, in insanity, just drinking nonstop for 4 days. I had booked I was like, you know what I'm gonna do, Chicago? It's not working out here, man. I'm just in this hotel room. I'm gonna go down to Mexico. With my mom. That will make me feel better. So I booked like 2 flights in my insanity. I booked 2 flights to Mexico, and then I never went. So I still had credits from those flights. So I had to use them by the end of the year. So that's how I got my Myrtle Beach flight, was from my my bottom in alcoholism. Sent me to Myrtle Beach, which is gifts to bride, I guess, you know.
Right. They call Myrtle Beach like the Mexico of like the Northeast region. So it makes sense that you automatically picked Myrtle Beach.
Yeah. Well, here's my thing about Myrtle Beach. In Pittsburgh, a lot of people, it's like people say Pittsburgh South. There's like sections of Myrtle Beach that have an incredible amount of Pittsburghers down there. So with Myrtle Beach, as I like to travel, I like interesting things. You know what I mean? I figured a beach town in winter is going to be interesting, and it's probably going to be funny. And like, I don't golf. It's Myrtle Beach in the winter, and I stopped drinking. So that's like 3 things, basically. That's what you do in Myrtle Beach, more or less. I don't have kids. So, and it really did, it kind of, the whole trip, I could walk you through Myrtle Beach experience, because it was, have you guys ever been?
I've actually never been.
Mm-mm.
Okay.
In the South Carolina, it's not Myrtle Beach.
Right. So, it's basically a giant tourist trap is what it is. And I'm so open-minded to places like this, but there's something about Myrtle Beach that was just kind of off, because there's such just userdom of the second you step into Myrtle Beach, it's trying to extract every piece of money you have in your wallet out of you. And, you know, there's good places to everything. There was nice local people. There was good local restaurants. But it was what? I get off the airplane, and first thing I do is, you know, how do I get to my Airbnb? So I got a $34 a night Airbnb on the 11th floor of this hotel. And that's like Myrtle Beach in winter. It's dirt cheap. And I had like this entire apartment for $34. It was so nice. But how do I get from the airport to the Airbnb? I look at public transit. It's taken me 2.5 hours to go from public transit on the air. I would have had to walk 50 minutes to like the beach thing so it's like, there again is strike one. You should have affordable, cheap options to leave an airport from any city, but it's just trying to suck money out of you. So it's either 15 minutes in an Uber or Lyft, or you got to rent a car, which a lot of people do, which I think renting a car is like the biggest. I'm not a driver, but it's got to be like the biggest, most unnecessary suck of money for people when they go on these trips, unless you really need it. So I get car in Myrtle Beach. It's a lot of people from the Northeast go down there, like Pittsburgh, Philly, Boston, New York. So you have all these people from the Northeast mixed in with the Southern accent. So it's like an accent bukkake. It's like, whoa, you're like in a soup of like Boston talking to New York, and then the Southern like comes in, and it's like, what the hell is going on here? And it's wild. So when I go to these places, first thing I do more or less is I find an AA meeting, and that was never more evident than the AA meeting. There's people from New York, Boston, Philly, everybody's talking. It's wild. It's fantastic. And the AA clubhouse that I went to was across the street from a strip club.
There you go.
So it was like perfect. Which, like,
Beautiful.
the one in Pittsburgh, if you know, it's right across the street from a strip club too. So it really was like Pittsburgh South. Yeah, it was like Pittsburgh South in that sense.
I got real like Atlantic City vibes from just what I saw you posting. Is that accurate?
It's like Atlantic City, but without the casinos.
No, way worse.
It's boardwalk. It's like boardwalk, arcade games, just money extraction. Everything's a tourist trap. The Ferris wheel. They have 3 Ferris wheels in the town, which makes no sense.
One is too many.
You can just tell, like, it went from like the small one, like back in Ma Pa's day, to like the slightly bigger one in like the 90s or whatever. Like, whoa, yeah, this is gonna save a town, the Ferris wheel. And then it went to like a huge one, and the Ferris wheel in downtown Myrtle Beach is the perfect encapsulation of these tourist traps. So you go there, you walk in, they take a picture of you before you go on the Ferris wheel, which
for what?
Which makes no sense. It's like you get in front of a green screen and they just take a photo of you. Like you didn't even experience the Ferris wheel. It's not of you on the Ferris wheel. You go on the Ferris wheel. There's a VIP ticket you can get where you get a car that has a glass bottom. So you can upgrade like 10, 15 extra bucks. What?
Yeah. So you can see beneath you?
Yeah, but it's like, the glass is like fog and foamy. You can barely see anything. And then they give you 4 spins. It's $20 a person. So it's like $23 with tax. They give you 4 spins. You're off in 10 minutes and they exit you through a gift shop. And basically Myrtle Beach is like that experience, like over and over again. And it makes me feel bad for like families that are down there. They're just constantly being extracted of like money. It reminded me of when I went to the Atlanta Braves and that Atlanta Braves stadium section. It's basically a funnel you get pumped into, and it's all just trying to like take your money from you.
Is it like a sky wheel thing that I'm looking at right now? The Myrtle Beach
the sky wheel.
Okay, yeah, I'm out on this. This is just where teenagers go to give hand jobs.
No, it's expensive hand jobs. $20
I don't want to walk
into
into
a photo
that.
of yourself before the hand job.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
Yeah, I'm out
before
Myrtle
I got
Beach,
a hand
man.
job at $20.
That place, it looks gross. I'm sorry to anyone who loves Myrtle Beach. That does not look
Sax,
great at all.
let me ask you this. Do they have one of their Ferris wheels on a bridge?
Good question.
No, they do not.
I'm out. I only ride Ferris wheels on bridges. So
dude. Oh
True
man.
Pittsburgher.
But then it's like, here's another thing about Myrtle Beach I noticed was there's so many faded LED, just faded signs or like dead neon, dead signs. Do you guys ever notice that? Like, oh, that restaurant's missing an A, it's missing an O
Yeah,
in
sure.
the name.
Yeah.
And it's like
It's all that.
That's like 101, like we don't give a F about our business. Like we're just not gonna fix this sign. We don't care that it's like you can see like the bird's nest building up inside it. you know, you can see.
I wonder if
It
it's
was
just
so
been like
much that.
established over the years. Like this is just such a place, a summer destination for so many, and it's been ingrained in so many families for years that they just gave up on actually making improvements. Because as long as the same thing keeps working over and over again, they're just like, I'm not going to spend $20 to fix my sign. Like you guys are going to pay me 30 grand next summer to come into my shitty restaurant or tourist trap. So it's like, why do anything?
Yeah.
That's what it feels like. And then it feels like it's like a mall. It's like building a mall, right? The second the mall is no longer cool, they don't try to fix it or renovate it. They just build another mall 15 minutes out where the current mall is, and then just everybody focuses there. It's a weird place, but my bet was make for interesting content, and I got a bunch of stuff coming out soon. So stay tuned for that. My current one posts me riding the bus. I rode the bus in Myrtle Beach for like 3 hours, and it was an absolute 30 minutes late.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it did cost $1 though.
Okay, not bad. I just remember like going to Atlantic City for a bachelor party, which you could like step into Atlantic City and just smell dreams fading away. And that's the vibes that I got. Like you just feel not secure, like not like from a safety standpoint, but just like, man, like not much going on here outside of like just tourist traps. So like that's the vibe I got. But
here
you went there.
Here's how I would do it. Just real quick. Here's how I would do it. If I were a family, here's how I would do it. Because if you do these places right, you can do these trips dirt cheap because they want you to get in that city. So you're going to have extremely cheap flights to Myrtle Beach, get a cheap Airbnb, just go shopping at the Piggly Wiggly. And then, you can have a pretty,
Piggly Wiggly.
It's like their supermarket.
Okay.
Just go get some bread at the
buy
Piggly
groceries
Wiggly,
at the Piggly Wiggly. Don't do any of the tourist stuff, and you could have a pretty good time there. You know what I mean? But yeah, it's
well, what are you doing outside the tourist stuff? Like, what else is there to do?
That's what the locals said. It's like you drink here, and I don't drink anymore.
Gotcha.
I went to this one place for lunch. This guy sits down. He's got like a thick New York accent, and with the course of 1 hour, I clocked him. He had 4 shots and 4 beers, and he's just like looking for anyone to make conversation with. And I just like was just eavesdropping. He locks in with this one guy, and he says, I swear to God, he says this. He goes, "They say some people drink to remember. Well, I drink to forget." And then he literally said that to a guy, and the guy beside him was like Canadian. He was like this Canadian tourist. He's like, "Oh, okay."
Oh,
wow,
yeah.
great.
Was it warm there,
And
Sax?
it's like, what's up?
Was it warm there?
No,
I was gonna say I doubt it was probably warm at all, but
it's probably like 20. It's like 10, 20 degrees warmer than it is here. But I'm glad I went. Look out for more content. I did everything. The Gay Dolphin. I did Broadway at the Beach. This Gay Dolphin is excellent. It was pretty nice.
I'll have to admit, when you posted a story and you're like, and I saw a gay dolphin, and I was like, this page is taking a turn that I did not expect. And then you panned out, and I'm like, oh, the place is literally called the Gay Dolphin. I'm like, oh, all right. Well, like, we're being literal here. Like, he literally saw the gay dolphin. So I'm like,
Yeah. All right. Look, I needed to make some money on the page. It's another grift I have.
Yeah, but like, how much was the Airbnb? Like, you were in an Airbnb, not
Gay
a
for
hotel,
pay
right?
dolphin.
There you
Hmm?
go. That's our next segment. What was the
what'd you
Airbnb
say?
situation? The Airbnb situation like out there?
So it's basically, I think everybody down there, like all the north, I guess like the northeasterns go down there, and they just talk about all the real estate they're able to purchase. Like, oh, I got all the real estate. Oh, you come down here, you get real estate. Like, it's like, okay, great, you have real estate in Myrtle Beach. So what happens is they buy up. Everybody like buys up these like giant like buildings and like just like tries to find the new way to turn them into income makers. And this one's just an Airbnb. It's like half Airbnb, half rentals. And you get a whole apartment. It was 2 bedrooms. It was a bathroom. It was a balcony beach on the 11th floor. And it was $34. The whole thing combined, like with taxes, was like $400 for 4 nights. So not complaining. It was pretty good. They had a lazy river and they had a hot tub. And yeah, I did not go in that. Someone said like Legionnaire's disease is making a comeback. Is that a hot tub disease?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. It doesn't
You
sound.
guys
good
ever
to
get
me,
a hot
man.
tub rash?
No. You know, my mom. So my mom was
I used to get sick in hot tubs when I was
Yeah.
younger.
My mom would barely ever let me go in one because she was like a nurse and she was like super like she was like, you can get so many diseases in those, and so yeah.
Sounds like a killjoy.
Yeah.
I like a
Did
good
you
hot
have any
tub.
fun
Don't
as
get
a
me
kid?
wrong. Like,
No, not at all.
She's like, eat Italian food, Scott. Eat Italian food. It's good for you.
That's actually what happened, but
You don't need
No
no
hot
fun,
tubs.
Scott. Eat Italian food.
That's good. Well, like the lazy river, that was open.
Yeah, it was like a lazy. I wanted to do it for content, but it was like 48 degrees. I couldn't bring myself. 40 degrees and overcast in Myrtle Beach, lazy river. But it was. I'm glad I did it, and yeah,
Good.
there's that.
Well, do you know what's next? Do you have anything on the calendar?
Yeah, so I am going to New York next week, which I lived there 14 years, and one of the things I'm doing there is my first paid gig.
Hell yeah,
gig.
brother. Let's go.
I am so stoked about this for the New York City Ferry. Because I was a New York City Ferry rider. If you don't know what that is, they basically restarted up this ferry service as like a low cost thing you can do to just travel around New York City, like another transit option. And it's unbelievable. And I rode it all the time, especially during COVID. I would ride it all the time. And it's like, guys, it truly is like a pinch moment of all the things to do, like my first bit of like content with. It's the New York City Ferry. Are you kidding me? So it's wild. I'm going to go there and ride the ferry like for one day, shoot a bunch of stuff. And then I'm going to, I love New York. I think the thing about New York, living there 14 years, is I want to go back like 3 times a year. And then I can still get my New York fill. Mm-hmm. Because it's such a special place. It's such a nice place, a fun place to be, and it's just something I want to keep in my life. You guys have never lived there, right?
No.
Do you guys go there pretty often?
Go pretty often.
Like once a year for me. I mean, at least.
I was, to be honest, I was probably going like 3 times a year because I have a couple buddies from school that live there, and my aunt is a New Yorker, and she's been there for, 50 years. So like I always have a place to stay. I got cousins there. I like the city. But yeah, I drive every time I go.
Oh yeah.
7 hours. Not bad. I used to have family that lived in Allentown, so I would either stay there or with my buddy's parents in Scranton and then hop and skip over.
I always say this: if you are an American, you deserve to live in New York for a year. it's like an opportunity that you are just given to as like your birthright. It's an unreal place. It's gonna make you change. It's gonna change your entire chemistry of how you like see the world to live in New York City. So if there's any younger people, I highly recommend living there. It's so expensive now. It's crazy. It's like it truly is. It's money town. The one common denominator is just money. And even like the places I used to live, you know, the cheap places, now they're just like skyrocketing. So, and that's the
pay
thing,
like
too.
$5,000
Other
a month
cities have
in rent,
become more
dude.
like New
Crazy.
York. Pittsburgh has become more like New York. It's become denser. There's more stuff to do. It's like other cities have upgraded, and people are leaving New York and going to other cities. And it's like, I don't know. It's just, but New York is always, you know, it's always the inspiration for a lot of the changes that you see in cities. Yeah.
Do we have enough people pooping on public transportation here to call it New York?
In
No.
So when I was on the bus, in Myrtle Beach. I walk on there and I look at the seat and I'm like, what the heck? It's like one of those like sample cups for urine.
Yeah.
Oh God. Yeah.
It's sitting on a bus seat and it's like full of this much of a brown liquid. And it's like, that's either like refried beans or that is.
I tell you what, it's not.
Yeah.
I would bet against that.
It's not.
But why would they put it in a tiny little cup?
Tell you
Be
what,
like,
they might call that a sample glass everywhere else, but in Myrtle Beach, that's a shot glass, brother. That's so gross, dude. I hate that. I hate that so much.
It's in my video that I just posted, and people are like, "What is?" That? And I was like, it's either really, anyways.
It's poop.
Yeah, for sure.
It's poop.
Did you give away any bobbleheads in or aspirins in Myrtle Beach?
No, I took some aspirins because the room had very dry heat.
You posted that video
that,
on the Saxcast page, and it was
incredible.
Reminded me of how great that was.
We gotta remake that. That's gonna be just copying that thread and copying that sketch.
Love
it.
will give out my Jack Sawinski signed baseball that I got at PiratesFest.
Oh yeah, let's talk about that real quick. We had going back to PiratesFest, there were some giveaways, Sax, and I said it on Bucko Banter. I'll say it here again. All year, all we were talking about is getting random jerseys that they gave away last year at PiratesFest. I got a Kevin Kramer jersey. I was looking forward to getting another Kevin Kramer jersey. No jerseys that they gave away this year, but they gave away signed baseballs. Scott and I both got one, and I think we got the opposite ends of the spectrum. We got two.
Yeah.
I got Nick York and Paul Skeens, and Scott got
Jack Sawinski and Spencer Horwitz.
So, not bad.
Yeah. Paul Skeens, though. That's like
I got Paul
pretty good.
Yeah, that was.
He took the bag that I actually picked out, which is he's been arguing with me about this since we left. And there were guys outside.
What does Paul Skeens autograph go for? Like base level? What's the value of that?
I don't know.
Can you imagine if you just sign something with a pen and there's like, boom, $50?
The first one on this website says $530.
That's crazy.
That's pretty
like
good.
it is a range from like 250 to like 550 here. Who knows? Like, I mean, these are what people listed it for. I don't know if people are actually buying this, but
and Google Jack Sawinski.
Yeah, real quick, let's Google.
I'm gonna take a guess and say $5.
Signed. We got $5.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, you're way off, Scotty.
Don't even.
You're way off.
20.
What is it?
$40.
25 cents. No, I'm just kidding. On our good friends at TSE, Total Sports Enterprises, they're selling it for $70.
That is a ripoff.
$70, and on eBay, 75. So, Scott, I think you got a pretty good deal there. $75 for a Jack Sawinski signed baseball.
So if I combine that with my Skeens, I want to make over $600.
Yeah, exactly.
Dude, you could sell that Jack Sawinski bobblehead and get a round trip flight to Myrtle Beach.
There we go.
Full circle. Full
I
circle.
want to go to
moment.
the Sky Whale.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, it's only worth what somebody's willing to pay for it, and I'm not selling it. So, that's just going to the personal collection. But exciting stuff coming up, guys. We got spring training right around the corner. We're going to start planning for that. Sax has his trip to New York City, so we're looking forward to that content as well. Anything else planned? Any other things you guys want to get off your chest before we get out of here?
I was just gonna say, Sax, congrats on the first paid gig, and for it to be the New York City Ferry, like the
Big time.
nostalgia behind that, like that's just really cool, man. So major props to you. I'm really excited to seeing it.
Appreciate. Yeah, I mean, it's just kind of like, again, gifts of sobriety. Like I can't even I can't even tell you like how my life has changed. Thanks everybody for rocking with it, and we appreciate you being here. And that's all I got. Till next time.
Absolutely. If you haven't already, go follow us on all social media. TikTok's apparently here to stay. So at the Saxcast everywhere, and then make sure you go subscribe to the YouTube channel at Saxcast or at Saxboybilly18. Make sure you like the video, share it, leave a comment, and then if you're listening, we love you too. Make sure you leave a 5-star review and download the episode. That helps us out a ton. And if you want to hear us talk about anything, if you have any suggestions for the show, segment ideas, you want Sax's input on anything in your life, what's going on, you want the wisdom of Sax Boy, hit us up, shoot us a DM. Make sure that you're having your voice heard on this great platform. So we appreciate everybody watching and listening. And until next time, we'll see you later. All right. Bye, boys.
See you guys.